travel packets for the journey. Could you please open your boxes and take out the hand warmers and open them up to the back? And then also look at your ID card. See who you are, but don't look at the back of it. There'll be a name listed on the front of it. Oh, wait, here. Alright, so if you can all open the hand warmers in equal shapes, but then put it back in the box. And then just look at the name on your ID card, but don't look at the back yet.
Can you read this?
Oh.
Are you from You shake it?
Yeah, just give it a little bit of shake and then put it back. Okay. Everybody ready to go? Okay. So you are all characters on your own adventure, and as you participate in our presentation, be mindful of who you are and how you contribute to the end of the Black Hawk War. So we are all the history buffs, and we are presenting a new interactive mobile exhibit for the Black Hawk War for historical societies all across Wisconsin. And we're excited to debut this innovative presentation style in Madison. So we want to bring the public close in contact with history. So please sit back and enjoy the experience.
The Black Hawk War began and ended in 1832. The war illustrated the tensions between Native Americans, specifically the Sauk and Fox tribes, and the Anglo settlers.
Black Hawk, known as Makatainishikiakiak by his people, was born in 1767 in Saukenock Indian Village on Rock River. He wrote a memoir recounting his role in the war.
Tensions began in Wisconsin when some, but not all, tribal members signed a treaty to remove all Native Americans west of the Mississippi, and Black Hawk resisted this move.
Those Indians you've been invited to sign a treaty to remain on the west side of the Mississippi. How came you to invite them home with us? The Sauks come on this side of the river. There may be war between them and the United States, and all by your inviting them. You ought to prevent this.
You ought to tell them so too. If they come to my village, I will tell those who signed the treaty.
Then you do not care much if they get into a war.
I have nothing to say. If you think so, you can make war. Those are my young men. I can call on them and the Winnipegos. I am half Sac and half Winnebago.
On April 5th and 6th, Black Hawk led some 700 men, women, and children across the Mississippi River into Illinois.
British or Black Hawk band were crossing their horses to the east side of the Mississippi for the Prophet's Village. The band itself were to come up the river in canoes and would be here in 4 or 5 days. The British band, now under the direction of some young chiefs, one of whom is Black Hawk's son, was but a short distance behind them, that Black Hawk himself refused to counsel with Keokuk band's dad-in-chief. His band generally believed the Cadwell story that the British would help them wherever those Indians may get into war with the United States. The full number is about 600 warriors, including 100 Kickapoos and some Powhatans. Black Hawk and Norfolk are with them, that their allies are the Powhatans, Kickapoos, Winnebagos, and Mountains. They say that the Canadian French and British will join them, and that they can get as much powder and lead as they want. The band of Sauks, under Black Hawk, joined by about 100 Kickapoos and a few Powhatans, amounting the whole to 500 warriors, have assumed a hostile attitude. They crossed the Mississippi on the 5th, at the Yellow Banks, 60 miles below this, and are now moving upward toward the Prophet's Village on Rock River.
General Atkinson was overall in command of the U.S. forces during the Black Hawk War. Although he delivered the final blow to the Black Hawk Indians of the Battle of Bad Axe, he was criticized for mishandling operations of the war, and his reputation did not prosper after that result. There was not much detail exactly as to how he mishandled his operations, but some criticism included the killing of Native American children and women. General Atkinson sent letters about the conditions during the war to General Alexander McLeod.
All right. So John Reynolds was the governor of Illinois, and the citizens of Rock River sent a letter to Reynolds about the beginning of the war and their interactions with local Native Americans.
Seeking protection against the Sauk and Fox tribe of Indians who became taken possession of our lands near the mouth of Rock River and its vicinity. They also threaten our lives if we attempt to plant corn and say they will cut it up and that we have stole their lands from them. And they are determined to exterminate us provided we don't leave the country without.
Black Hawk sent 3 Braves under a white flag of truce on May 13th to meet with militia. Intoxicated soldiers attacked and killed one messenger. Battle picture sparking the Battle of Stillman's Run and the beginning of the war.
I have considered it necessary to call out a force of the militia of this state of about 700 strong to remove a band of the Sauk Indians who reside now about Rock Island. A sufficient force will appear before those Indians to remove them dead or alive over to the west side of Mississippi.
Colonial Henry Dodge was a colonial of the Western Michigan Territory Militia. When he arrived in the area, he began building forts, fortifying homes, and forming a band of volunteers, militia, and rangers called the Michigan Mounted Volunteers. He and his men saw action in the Battle of both Wisconsin Heights and Bad Axe.
And Black Hawk's path led into Wisconsin, passing through Beloit and Janesville, then along Rock River in the direction of Hornicon Marsh, before turning west in 4 Lakes, now Madison, where a marker can now be found atop Bascom Hill if you're so inclined to go see it. And the encampment was at Pheasant Branch. So you can
Black Hawk and his desperate, belligerent band of followers encamped to the right just ahead of the quickly advancing militia on July 21st.
You can now take out your hand warmers.
All right. Take out and grab your candy. Look at it and think about how much you want it. And how hungry you are on this cold night. Now once you have them unwrapped, put it back. As if you remember the Sauk and Fox band, and you don't have enough food to eat. You have been traveling for 2 months, and all of you are tired and low on food, so you have to save this.
Alright. And on July 21st, militia caught Black Hawk's party near present-day Sauk City, where the Battle of Wisconsin Heights was fought. A relatively small band of warriors held off the militia, where the bulk of the Sauk and Fox, by then starving and weakened by their arduous journey, built rafts and escaped across the Wisconsin River during the night.
We arrived and had commenced crossing to an island when we discovered a large body of the enemy coming towards us. We were now compelled to fight or sacrifice our wives and children to the fury of the whites. In this skirmish with 50 braves, I defended and accomplished my passage over the Wisconsin with a loss of only 6 men, though opposed by a host of mounted militia. I would not have fought there
unknown number of Native Americans died, but the delay tactic worked. When the daylight came, the militia was amazed to see that they had escaped.
The military went forth to Blue Mounds, west of Madison, to regroup and reprovision, and caught Black Hawk's trail when they were near Spring Green on July 28th.
And on August 1st and 2nd, the Battle of Bad Axe took place, which was the bloodiest battle of the entire war. Pursuing soldiers crossed the river on rafts, just days before they overtook Black Hawk's band near the Bad Axe River. Another effort to surrender was ignored. Hundreds of men, women, and children attempting to cross the river were cut down by pursuing soldiers and by a gunboat that had come up the river from Prairie du Chien. Many more drowned, and dozens who did not make it successfully to the other side were then killed by their old enemies, the Sioux.
Private John H. Bonda fought in the Battle of Bad Axe and wrote in his journal about the experience.
Armament led the chase, next after the scouts, who were continually firing at the Indians. The Indians continued to retreat until they reached the Wisconsin River, where some made a stand and showed fight, while the others crossed the river. The boat steamed up the stream, with all on board anxious to get a pop at the Indians. We came in sight of the Indians south of the Bad Axe River. They were collected together on the bench of the land close to the Mississippi, and they were making efforts to get their women across. The boat steamed up the stream, with all on board anxious to get a pop at the Indians. We came in sight of the Indians south of the Bad Axe River. They were collected together on the bench of the land close to the Mississippi, and they were making efforts to get their women across. Old Longshot, with a band of his warriors and the Indians, were sent in pursuit of those of Black Hawk's people who crossed the Mississippi, and very few of the Saucon Hawks Indians ever reached their own country. Soon after Black Hawk was captured, the volunteers were discharged, and I received a land loan for my 2 months of service, settled down, and got married.
Black Hawk escaped and later surrendered to the soldiers at Prairie du Chien, ending the war.
We hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the Black Hawk War.
Okay, well, my name is Jessica.
My name's Dana,
And I'm Zach.
and we are the History Buffs.
So check out your cards that you have, and you can flip them on the back, and it kind of shows the fate of the person that you have, depending on if you're a soldier or an Indian or even a chief. So you can check that out and see if you survived.
And if you want to find out more information, you have cards to go to our website where you can get plenty of fun links and learn more. And if you really, really want to, you can have your candy now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much.